What if the secret to a calm mind isn't some super complicated technique? What if it's as simple as a story about a glass of water? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful tale that just might reveal how to find peace right where you are. So, let me ask you something. Does your mind ever just go, like a runaway train, constantly jumping from one thought to the next? Is it always busy, always restless, and just full? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, well, you are definitely not alone. And if you can relate, then you're going to want to meet Marco. He's the hero of our story. A 24-year-old guy, in his mind, it was in a constant state of turmoil, a place a lot of us know all too well. See, Marco's mind was basically in this constant tug of war with itself. On one side, he was stuck in the past, just replaying regrets, feeling sad about things he couldn't change. And on the other, he was being flung into the future, totally consumed by worry and anxiety. He was just never here, never in the present. And look, this wasn't just him being a little stressed out. This mental storm had a huge impact on his life. It stole his sleep. It robbed him of any sense of calm. He had literally forgotten how to smile. Think about that for a second. So you can imagine he was feeling pretty desperate. And then he hears these rumors, whispers about this wise old man living up in the hills who supposedly knew the secrets to a peaceful mind. And just that little glimmer of hope was enough to get him to set off on a quest to find this guy. After a long, tiring journey, we're talking days of travel, Marco finally makes it to this small, quiet village. And there he is, the man he was looking for. Turns out, he was a former psychologist from the city who'd traded it all in for a simple life close to nature. And Marco just finds him sitting there, totally at peace on his porch. So Marco walks up to him, and he just lays it all out there. He says, "Grandfather, my mind is so restless. I just can't stop thinking. I really want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" And you know what? The old man just smiled. He didn't launch into some big, complicated lecture. Instead, he gave Marco a challenge, a really simple task that involved, you guessed it, a single glass of water. Okay, so here's what he did. The wise man takes a glass and fills it with water right up to the absolute brim. The task was this. You got to walk to the edge of the village and then walk all the way back without spilling a single drop. It sounds easy enough, but that last part was everything. Not one drop. And just to be clear, this wasn't some quiet little walk in the park. The path was pure chaos. It was this narrow, busy road with people walking and running everywhere, shopkeepers shouting out to him, dogs barking. Basically, all the noise and distractions of everyday life were happening all at once. But Marco accepted the challenge. He focused like his life depended on it, blocking everything else out. One careful step at a time, he navigated through all that chaos, and he made it back, triumphant. He goes right up to the old man and says, "I did it. I didn't spill even one drop of water." Okay, but this is where the whole story takes a twist. The wise man doesn't say, "Great job" or "Congratulations." Instead, he starts asking these really weird questions. He says, "Did you see the children playing? Did you hear the dogs barking?" He's asking about all the chaos Marco had just walked through. And Marco's answer, this is the key to the whole thing. He looks genuinely surprised and says, "No, I didn't see or hear any of that. I was only focusing on the glass." In that moment of laser-like focus, the entire world around him, all that noise, it just vanished. And right there, that was it. The wise man revealed the secret. It wasn't about finding a quiet place or getting away from it all. It was about finding a quiet mind by unlocking the power of the present moment. The old man explained it like this. When you were totally focused on that glass of water, your mind was completely in the now. And in that state, when you're fully present, there's just no room for anything else. No space for past regrets, no room for future worries, none of those extra thoughts. For that whole time, your mind was perfectly, naturally calm. You see, Marco had been searching for peace everywhere outside of himself. But the wise man showed him it was inside him all along. Peace isn't something you find. It's what's already there when our mind isn't lost in the past or worried about the future. It's when we're right here, right now. And for Marco, it was like a light bulb went off. He finally got it. The solution wasn't to somehow stop his thoughts, which is impossible, right? It was to give his mind something to focus on so completely, right here in the present, that all those other thoughts just naturally fade into the background. And the change in him was incredible. I mean, he showed up with a mind like a raging storm, and he left with this deep, quiet sense of inner peace. And nothing about the world had changed. The only thing that changed was his relationship with his own mind. So, if we take this whole amazing story and boil it down to one single crucial point, it's this. Your focus determines your reality. It's that simple. When Marco's focus was on his worries, his reality was a storm. When his focus was on the glass of water, his reality was peace. And that really just leaves one last question for all of us to think about. The next time your mind feels like a storm, what is the one thing you can focus on so completely that everything else just melts away? What is your glass of water right now?